Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to today's class. We will be looking at chapter 3. This is from Maths 2 and the chapter's name is Circle. You have already done this chapter. You were working with Bhagashri ma'am and you already have completed practice set 3.2. So we will be continuing from there. But before we begin, we will just take a small quiz. Okay, so everybody please be ready. Let's take up a small quiz, and you all are very well versed with the quiz because last year we had done this quiz, right? So everybody please, once again I will repeat the instructions for you. Follow the instructions. So you need to go to Google, open any web page, go to Google and type in joinmyquiz.com. Okay, and once you enter you will get this link, quizzes.com for students. Click on it and select join. Okay, so you will be prompted to enter the join code. This is the code here, you see it on the screen. It's 921631. Enter this code and click on join a game. It will ask for your name. Write your name with the school name and click on start. Okay, you will be here waiting for other players to join. Come on everyone, get started. Go to Google, type in joinmyquiz.com. And once you click that, once you type in that and hit enter, you will see a link like this for students quizzes.com. You click on that, you will be redirected to a page where you need to enter a join code. This is the game code 921631. Click on join a game. It will ask for a name. Enter in your name, right? With your school name and click on start. Okay, I see 16 participants have already joined. Others quickly write out. Once we reach 50 participants, we will quickly start. Others, this is the link. It says joinmyquiz.com and that's the code. It's 921631. Okay, this is a very basic quiz on circles. Okay, just a small recap and very basic quiz on circles. All right, and let's get started. So just look out for first question. That's the question. What is the name or what do you call this question, this image? Is this a secant? Is this a diameter? Is this a radius or a chord? What do you call this figure? What is this segment called as? Is it a secant, a diameter, a radius or a chord? Quickly, everyone. I see 38 of you have already answered it. 10 more seconds. And let's check how many of you got it right. That is the image of a chord. Okay, so a line segment which joins any 2 points on a circle, it is called as a chord. All right, 27 of you have got it right. Let us look at next one. So there will be an image and you need to identify what part it is. What is it called? Okay, look at this image. What is this black line called as? What is it called as? Is it a secant? Is it a diameter? Is it a radius? Or is it a chord? Okay, be very careful. I'll give you 10 more seconds. Okay, let's see how many of you got it right. It was a very easy question. 35 of you have got it right. So that was the diameter, right? Any line or any segment which joins 2 points on the circle and passes through the center, that is called as a diameter. Okay, it's not a chord because longest chord is called as a diameter. So we need to give a very specific answer. The answer to this was diameter. Let's look at next question. What is this picture called as? Everybody knows it. Come on, everybody knows it. What is this picture about? Is it a chord, a diameter, a radius, or inscribed angle? Everybody knows, right? What is it called as? I'll give you 10 more seconds. Okay, time's up. And let's see how many of you got it right. 44 of you got it right. Great. Everybody knows the very basic question that this is a radius, right? Let's look at next one. Now, what is this called as? Yes, you have done this in the earlier class. A line which passes through 2 points on a circle. What is it called as? Is it a chord? Is it a diameter? Is it a minor arc or a secant? What is it called as? Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds. A very simple question. We have done this in the earlier class. A line which passes through 2 points on a circle. Okay, let's see how many of you got it right. All right, 18 of you. Okay, just check, students. This is called as a secant. Okay, this is a secant. It's not a chord. It's not a diameter. It's not a minor arc. That's a secant. Okay, another question from your earlier class. What is this called as? A line which passes through only one point on a circle. It touches the circle at only one point. A line which touches the circle at only one point. What is it called as? Is it a tangent? Is it a secant, a chord, or a diameter? Ten seconds, students. Think and answer. Okay, let's check. It is called as a tangent. A tangent touches the circle at one and only one point. Fantastic. 59 of you have got it right. Maximum students have got this one right. Okay. And there was a last question. Yes, one last question now. What is this called as? Is it major arc, minor arc, circumference, or perimeter? What is it? The line or the boundary of a circle. What is it called as? Boundary of a circle. What is it called as? Okay, 10 seconds. Let's see how many of you got it right. 68 of you have already answered. 43 of you got it right. The correct answer is circumference. The boundary, or it is also called as the perimeter, but again the specific word is circumference. Perimeter of a circle, the region around the circle, right? The boundary of a circle, that's a circumference. Okay, so you must have got a good idea about it now. The basics. It was a nice revision, and thank you everyone for joining. Let us quickly check. Do I see the scores? Yes. So here, I'll call out the names of the students who have scored 100% on this quiz. Arjun Rajkumar Upadhyay, Pavan Chaurasia, Shesta Ansari, Abhishek Vishwakarma, and Shravan Chaurasia. Congratulations, you have got 100% on it. Now let's continue with the chapter circle. Okay, I'm really proud of you. Thank you for joining the quiz. Now it's time to take a quick recap on the concepts that you have seen in practice set 3.1 and 3.2. And then we will proceed to 3.3. The first thing you have seen is the tangent theorem. What is a tangent theorem? It says that when any tangent touches the circle at that particular point, the radius and the tangent, they're always perpendicular to each other, right? And then you have also seen that tangents which are drawn from an external point to a circle, they are always congruent, right? Then you have seen this touching circles theorem. What happens when the circles they touch externally, and what happens when they touch each other internally? How to find the distance between the centers of the circle, right? When in the first case, when you look at this image, in the first case, if the circles they are touching externally, then to find the distance between the centers, you need to add the radius, right? You need to add the radii of both the circles. And for the second image, where you can see the circles, they are touching each other internally, to find the distance between the centers, you need to subtract, right? You need to subtract the radius. Okay. And now let's begin with a new concept, okay, with arc. Like, what is the meaning of arc? So you see, if you imagine, like you see a bangle, and if the bangle, you know, it's broken into pieces. So each piece represents an arc, okay? So here, if you see the 2 points K and L, the distance between the points K, L, N is an arc, okay? Now again, when there is an arc, there are pieces, some will be smaller, some will be bigger. The small pieces, they are called as the minor arc, and the larger piece is called as the major arc. All right. And here is the definition. It says an arc is the distance between any 2 points on the circumference of a circle. Okay. So if you draw any 2 points, the region, the distance, that will be the length of the arc. Okay. Now, how do we name an arc? How do we name it? Like for an angle, we can use 1 letter, or we can use 3 letters. We can use numbers, we can use variables, right? So how can we name an arc here? We need to use 3 letters, okay? So here, as you can see, X, KXL, arc KXL. That's the correct way of naming that particular arc, okay? It is named by 3 points, okay? Where 2 points are the end points, and the third point lies in between. Here in this case, the arc KXL is smaller in length as compared to the other arc, so it is the minor arc. And the remaining part, the remaining arc, it is called as the major arc. So again, we are using 3 letters, arc KYL. That's the correct way of naming it. Arc KYL. That's the major arc. Okay. And it divides the circle into two parts. One will be the smaller arc is the minor arc and the larger one is the major arc. Now, few examples of arc in real life. Where do you see an arc? As I said, example of bangle. Okay, you break it into two pieces or three pieces. Each piece is an arc, right? Here you can see on the bridge the curve that is an arc. Then here, where do you see an arc here in this image? The rainbow is an arc, right? Now, what if the arc is neither major nor minor arc? Okay, exactly, it is suppose the diameter cuts the circle and then these two are equal arcs. They are called as, it is called as a semicircle, okay? And it will be, the length will be equal to exactly half of the circle, right? So that is how we just name it again using three letters. Arc DSE, that is semi arc or semicircle. Likewise, arc DRE, half of a circle. It is semicircle, right? And it is half of the arc. Next concept that we see today is central angle. Okay. Now, any angle which is made using the center of the circle, that is called as central angle. Okay. So it can be drawn anyhow. Like, yes. Let me draw one and show. Like, you can see one arc is already here. One angle is already here. It is, the center is used, right? This is the center of the circle. So it can be an angle like this also. Okay. You can see this angle POQ, this angle is made on the center. So any angle which is made on the center, it is called as the central angle. Okay. Next, we are going to see how to find measure of an arc. Okay, how to find measure of an arc. So that is, we are going to measure it out in terms of degrees. Okay, so the measure of minor arc, please check. There are three arcs. We are going to see the minor arc, the major arc, and the semi arc. Okay, so the minor arc is equal to the measure of its corresponding central angle. Okay, so whatever central angle is given, that is the measure of this minor arc. Okay, we are not looking at the length of the arc, we are looking at the measure of the arc. That is, it will be related in, it will be in terms of degrees. Okay, so if I say that central angle A, if I say that this central angle is 60 degrees, then measure of this minor arc will be also 60 degrees. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second, measure of major arc. Okay, how to find the measure of major arc? So we know total around the circle, it is total is 360 degrees, right? Likewise, if we know the minor arc, then we can find the measure of this major arc. How? Simply subtract from 360, right? So in this case, if I want to find the measure of arc BDC, okay, just check the arc BDC, the red one, that will be equal to 360 minus measure of the minor arc. Which is the minor arc in this case? It is arc B. We need 3 points. So let me write out an X over here. So it will be arc BXC, and that will be 360 minus 60 degrees. So here the measure of this major arc is 300 degrees. Okay. Next, what is the measure of semicircular arc? So it will be half of 360, right? And half of 360 is 180 degrees. Okay, so exactly half of 360, that will be 180 degrees. And we know what is the measure of this complete circle, that is 360 degrees. Okay, everyone. So these are the very basic things about arc. Arc is of three types: minor, major, and semi arc. How to find measure of minor arc? It is straight equal to the measure of its corresponding central angle. So whatever central angle, that will be equal to minor arc. Then we can find the measure of major arc by simply subtracting that particular angle in from 360 degrees. Okay, and we know how to find measure of semicircle. That will be straight away half of 360, which is 180 degrees. Now let's see in what particular condition can we say that the arcs are congruent. Okay, so if we have two different circles and we have two arcs, how or when can we say that the arcs are congruent, they are equal? Okay, so you need to look for two things. You need to look for two things. So two arcs, they are congruent if their measures and the radii are equal. Okay, these are two things. First is the measure should be equal, and second is the radius of the circles should be equal. Like for example, there is one circle like this, and like example, there are two concurrent circles. One circle is inside other circle. Okay, and this is the central angle. Let's say this is 70 degrees. Okay, let's say this is 70 degrees. That's the center angle. Okay, and let me name it quickly. So this is AXB, and let's say this is PQR. Okay, so my question is the arc PQR and arc AXB, are these two arcs equal? Can we say that they are congruent? So we need to check for two things. We know that the measure of the arc is equal to the central angle. Okay, so when I say measure arc PQR, let me highlight it for you in green. So PQR is this part. Okay, this part, and then AXB is the other one. Okay, let us use another color. Just check. AXB is this. Are they congruent? Are they equal? We straight away we can see it. They are not equal, correct? But we see the central angle is same. So for both of them, the central angle, their measure is 70 degree. But we can see that the radius of both the circles is not equal. So we say that they are not congruent. All right. So very important, two things. First is measure of the arcs should be same. Even if the measure is equal, but the radius is not equal, we would say that they are not congruent. So both the conditions should be satisfied. Okay, the measure of the arc and radius of the circle. Okay. Let's move on to next concept. Property of sum of measures of arcs. Like how can we add arcs? Okay, so here in this diagram you can see this circle is broken into many arcs. So what if I want to add the arcs ABC and the arc CDE? So where is ABC? Just check. This arc is ABC. And what about the other one, CDE? CDE. Let's use another color. Just check this arc. So in case if I want to find the sum, or if I need to add two arcs, okay, what is the condition? There is only one condition, that is the first letter and the last letter, it should be same. Or maybe we can say that at least one point on both the arcs should be same. Okay, like this point, the C is common in both of them. All right, C is common in both of them. So we can add those two arcs. So the property says that, yeah, so the property is that if the first and the last letter in both the arcs is same, or one point is same, the end point, any one end point should be same, then we can add the arcs, and simply we can add the measures to get the length of this complete arc. Okay, so we will get the measure of arc ACE or ABE, or you can name it as ADE. Okay, using 3 letters. Next is we will look at a theorem. Okay, the chords corresponding to congruent arcs of a circle are congruent. So here we are given that the arcs are congruent. Okay, try to understand. what is given and what are we asked to prove. The chords corresponding to these arcs, they are congruent. So we are supposed to prove that the chords are equal, okay? And what are we given? We are given that the arcs are congruent. So in this case, ACP and the arc DQE, these two arcs, they are given to be congruent. And we are supposed to prove that the chords, they are congruent, okay? So this is the proof from your textbook. You can just fill it out, right? So we see that these two triangles, they belong to one same circle, okay? So side AB is congruent to the side DB. What will be the reason? Because they are radii of the same circle, okay? Because they are radii of same circle. Next, so we have proved here AB and DB, okay? AB and DB, I can mark it like that. Next, it will be these two sides, all right? BC and BE. So side BC is congruent to side BE. How? Again, both of them are radii of same circle. Okay, and this we are given that the arcs are congruent. So if the arcs are congruent, the central angles will be also equal, right? So measure of the arcs are congruent. The arcs are congruent. Therefore, we can say that the central angle, they are also equal. So ABC, angle ABC over here, and angle DBE, this angle. Okay. So now you can clearly identify the first triangle ABC is congruent to the other triangle DBE by which property? You can see side angle is at the center and then another side. So it is side angle side. Okay, that's side angle side test of congruence. Okay, and then one last step which you all can't see here. This last step is actually AC is congruent to DE. Fine, so I'll write it out over here. Chord AC will be congruent to the chord DE. How? We know once the triangles are congruent, the remaining parts, they are congruent by CSCT or CACT. In this case, we are looking for side, so it will be CSCT, that is corresponding sides of congruent triangles. Okay, so this completes the proof. That was when two arcs are congruent, then their corresponding chords are also congruent. All right, and the next is the converse of this. What do you mean by converse? Exactly opposite, vice versa. Earlier we have proved that the arcs were equal, so the chords are equal. In this, it is reverse. We are given that the chords are equal, okay? We are given that the chords are equal or congruent, and we have to prove that the arcs are congruent, all right? So how can we do that? To prove that the arcs are congruent, we need central angles, correct? We need central angles. And how can you prove that these central angles are equal? Which is the central angle here? POQ and SOR, right? We need to prove that these two angles, they are congruent. How can you prove that these two are congruent? First, you will prove that the triangles are congruent, okay? And then you can say by CACT, the angles are equal. Once the angles are equal, the arcs are equal, right? Now, how would you prove that these two triangles are equal or these two triangles are congruent? By using SSS rule of congruence, okay? Because this side is equal to this side by radius of same circle, right? Same way, these two sides are equal because again they are radius of same circle, and we are given that the chords are equal. So this chord PQ is equal to RS. So by side, 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 by this rule, the triangles are congruent. Therefore, by CACT, we can say the central angles are equal. And once the central angles are equal, we can say that corresponding or measure of the arc will be equal, because the circle is same, the radius is same, and the measure of each arc is equal. So the arcs are congruent, right? So this proof is left out for you. You can try this out as homework. Okay, so let us quickly recap the important concepts that we have done today. The first thing was, what is the central angle, right? So central angle is the angle whose vertex is at the center, or any angle which is made using the center of a circle, that is called as central angle. Okay, then we saw how to find measure of an arc. So how do we find measure of an arc? For the minor circle, the measure will be equal to central angle. For the major arc, it will be 360 minus the minor arc. Okay, and what about the measure of a semicircle? It is 180, half of 360, right? Then we saw, when do we say two arcs are equal or two arcs are congruent, right? How can we say, or when those are two conditions? What are the two conditions? First thing, the radius should be same for both the circle, and the measure of the arcs should be equal. Then we say that the arcs are congruent. Okay. Next we saw the how to add the angle, the measure some property of arcs, like when can we add two arcs? When only one point, only any one end point, okay, any one end point should be common in both the arcs, then we can add both the arcs. And of course, they need to be arcs of the same circle. Then we can simply add them to find the measure of the total arc. All right. Next, we saw two theorems. That is, when can we say that the chords are equal? If the arcs are equal, then the chords are equal, and the reverse. If the chords are equal, then the arcs are equal. All right. So using this concept, now we are going to solve practice set 3.3. We have 3 questions. Okay. So let's get started. Everyone, be ready with your books. Okay. So while I am explaining, parallelly, you should also try to write out the proof. Okay. Because this is very easy. You just need to find the measure of the arcs, and you can just try to solve it, right? So I'll give you 30 seconds. Read out the question and check which property can be used here. Okay, so let's start. Yes, how can we begin? We say that first let's highlight whatever is given. So it says that point G, D, E, F, these are concyclic points with the center C. Angle ECF is 70 degrees. So let's highlight ECF is this angle. So this angle is 70 degrees. All right. And measure of the arc DGF is 200 degrees. So DGF, I'm going to highlight it like this. Just check this arc DGF. This is 200 degrees. Okay. So you all can also highlight whatever is given. What are we asked to find? We need to find two things. First is measure arc of DE. DE is this arc, right? And measure arc of DEF. So DEF is this complete thing. All right. So how do we begin? Solution. Let's start with solving or finding out what is DEF. Okay. Now we know that the total measure of this circle, that is 360 degrees, right? The total is 360 degrees. So first we will start with finding what is the measure of this arc EF, right? So we can say measure of the arc EF, that will be equal to angle ECF, right? What is the reason? What is the reason for this? This is the definition, right, of measure of minor arc. All right. Therefore, we can say that measure of arc EF, that is equal to 70 degrees. All right. So we have got, this is 70 degrees. The upper arc, we know the major arc is 200 and we know the total is 360. Can we find this arc DE? Think. Which property? We got this arc to be 70 degrees. The total blue arc is 200. Can we find this remaining arc? Yeah, we know that the total measure will be 360 degrees. How do we write it out? Let's check. So measure of the arc DGF plus measure of the arc EF, we should write like this, arc EF plus measure of the arc DE. Okay, the total is equal to how much? The total is 360 degrees. Okay, now whatever we know, we can just substitute. DGF is 200 plus EF is 70 plus we don't know what is measure of arc DE. We write it out as it is. The sum is 360 degrees. Correct? The sum is 360 degrees. And now adding these two, we get 270 plus measure of arc DE. That is equals to 360 degrees. So what will be measure of the arc DE? I guess you all must have got the answer already, right? So 360 minus 270. That will be how much? Measure of arc DE, that is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so here you can see we have got the first part, that is measure of arc DE. Now let's find the second part. That is, we have to find measure of arc DEF. Okay, let me highlight. Let's check. So far we have got, this is 70, this is 90, DE is 90, DGF is 200 and EF is 70. What are we asked to find? DEF. Let me highlight DEF. So just look at it carefully, students. DEF. How can we find DEF? Can I add both these numbers? Can I? Yes, you all are right. We can. And what is the property called as? It is the arc addition postulate, right? So how do we write out the step? Measure of arc DE plus measure of arc EF. The total is equal to measure of the arc DEF. Okay. So therefore we can get measure of the arc DEF, which is equal to 90 plus 70. We are adding them up and that is equal to how much? 160 degrees. Okay. So finally we have got measure of the arc DE, which is equal to 90 degrees, and also measure of the arc DEF, which is equals to 160 degrees. Right? Once you are done, you should highlight your answer, right? Okay, let's move on to next question. Question number 2. What are we given here? In the triangle QRS, this triangle is an equilateral triangle. Okay. Now we know for an equilateral triangle, all the sides, they are equal, right? All the sides, they are equal. What are we asked to prove? Prove that the arcs are equal. All the three arcs are equal. And we need to find, or we need to prove that the measure of arc QRS, that is equals to 240 degrees. All right. So how do we begin? we know that we will use the property where if the chords are equal, then what will happen? The arcs are also equal, isn't it? When the chords are equal, the arcs are equal. So all three chords are equal. So three arcs will be equal. I can say this is X, this is X, this is X. All of them are X because three arcs, they are equal, right? And if the arcs are equal, we know the total is 360 degrees. So X plus X plus X will be equal to 360. And that is how we can find this measure QRS. Okay, let us see how to write out the proof. So we start with what is given. Triangle QRS is an equilateral triangle. Okay, it is an equilateral triangle. Where did we get this? It was given. Okay, and therefore what can we say? Therefore segment RS is congruent to segment QS and it is congruent to segment QR. Correct? The segments, they are congruent because it's a property of an equilateral triangle. Okay, since these are, we can say these are sides of equilateral triangle. And then we know the property. Let me write it out. The property is arcs of the same circle are equal. When are they equal? If the chords are congruent, correct? If the related or corresponding arcs are equal. Chords, I mean to say chords. Okay, the related chords are equal. So here we have got the chords are equal, therefore the arcs are equal. You need to write out the names now. So here in your textbook, usually we use 3 points to name an arc, but in your textbook they are using 2 letters, so that's completely fine, right? So related arcs here, they will be measure arc, or we can just write out arc RS will be congruent to arc QS, which will be congruent to arc QR. Okay, the chords are equal, therefore the arcs are equal. Okay, so this proves first part. Now we have to prove the second part. All right, students, let's prove out the second part now. Just check. How can we start? All of the 3 are equal, so we can say let the arcs, the measure of all 3 of them be X. So let measure of the arc RS equal to measure of arc, just a minute, QS, which is equal to measure of the other remaining arc QR. Let us say all of them are equal to X. And then we know sum of all 3 will be equal to 360 degree, right? So you need to write it out properly that measure of the arc RS plus measure of the arc, just a minute, yes, measure of arc RS plus measure of arc QS plus measure of the arc QR. The total is equals to 360 degree. You need to write out the reason. What is the reason for this? Now, what is the reason for this? We know measure of a circle is 360 degrees. Okay, I'll write it out over here. This is 360 degrees. What is the reason? Because the reason is measure of circle is 360 degrees. All right. So X plus X plus X, the total is 360 degrees, and therefore 3X equals to 360, and thus we have got X equals to 360 upon 3, that is equal to 180 degrees. Now 1X is 180 degrees, that means, I mean to say, yeah, that should be 120, right? Will be 120 degrees. So all 3 of them individually, it is 120, 120 and 120. Now they are asking what is the measure of our QRS. So let me highlight QRS. Just check everyone. QRS is like this. So QRS, this part, we can simply say that adding up QR and adding up RS, we will get the total length that is equal to 240 degrees. Adding 120, 120, we get 240 degrees. And that is how we can prove the second part. All right. So simply we can simply say by the arc addition property, by the arc addition postulate or property, what can we say? We can add the arcs arc RQ plus the arc RS, adding them up, what do we get? The arc QRS. Okay, so 120 plus 120, that is equal to 240 degrees. So we have got arc QRS, measure of the arc. Of course, we have to write measure for each of them. Okay, measure of arc QRS, that is equal to how much? That is equal to 240 degrees. So that proves the second part. Okay, everyone. Let's look at the last part. We can just quickly go over it. So just check what are we given here. We are given that chord AB is congruent to chord CD. Let me highlight AB in blue and I will highlight CD in green. Just check. So these two arcs, they are given to be equal. Okay. And we are asked to prove, sorry, just a minute. The chord AB. So this is the chord AB that is equal to chord CD. We are given that these two chords are equal and we have to prove that arc AC is equal to arc BD. Okay, how can we start? Start with whatever is given. So chord AB is congruent to chord CD. This is given. So therefore, what can we say? We know that corresponding arcs will be congruent. So measure of the arc ACB will be congruent to measure of the arc CBD. Just check. The green chord will give this green arc and the blue chord will give this blue arc, right? So both the arcs, they are congruent. Now look at this step very carefully. Dekho, green one, ACB, that is arc AC plus arc CB. Now look at the blue one. The blue one is CB, measure of arc CB plus measure of the arc BD. Okay. Now, if you look at the parts carefully, this is AC, this is CB and CB. In both the parts, this is common. Do you look at it carefully? Do you see the green and blue arcs? Both of this, they are common in both the arcs. We can cross them out. Okay. So both the arcs, they get crossed out because those are equal parts. And therefore, what are we left with? Therefore, what are we left with? We are left with measure of arc AC, which is, of course, congruent to measure of the arc BD. And look at it carefully now. What are we asked to prove? The same thing. So this is proved, hence proved. Okay, here you need to write out the reason. What will be the reason? That arcs corresponding to congruent chords are equal. Arcs which are corresponding to congruent chords, they are equal. Okay. And hence proved. So this completes practice set 3.3. Everyone, please write it out, write out these proofs and keep revising whatever concepts we are looking at, because when you will look at the problem set, all the concepts will help you to solve problem set easily. These are two questions which are based on today's concept. Take this as homework. I hope everything was clear. Thank you everyone for joining.